Number one, it's durable, especially for someone that's going to weekend shoot, even shoot daily. We've shot ours, I can't remember, over 100 times probably, and it's got some little dimples in it, but I mean, you can touch the paint up and it's good to go. So I made it for the lightweight capability for someone to haul around if they want to throw it in the back of their truck. I made it a couple pieces also for the simple fact that transport. If someone wants to transport it in the back of their truck, it's cumbersome loading a big target, and it honestly takes up a lot of room in the back of a truck, especially if you're going to load other things, coolers and your equipment and all that. And just be cost effective for the consumer, for guys that I hunt with, or, I'm looking for a good deal, and I want to give someone a quality, really good product that's going to last.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the RedBeard Outdoors podcast. I'm Jonathan, your host, and today we have a fantastic guest for you for our full-length episode here this Saturday with Ross from Broken Arrow Outdoors. He is the owner. You may see his targets over at Total Archery Challenge with the Metal Sasquatch and some other various targets that he's set up with different companies. Probably seen him over on the Elk Shape channel or on my channel, as well as I've got that target set up on the range that I get to go shoot at. So he just does a great job, guys. Having a metal target is something that adds another level of stress to your shooting. You have to be dialed in or you lose an arrow. And depending on your arrow setup, that could be anything from $20 to $50 or more per arrow, depending on what you're shooting. So definitely recommend checking his stuff out. We're going to get into that, how he started Broken Arrow Outdoors and what he does as his main job in the fire department as well. He's just a great dude that loves archery, loves his family, loves fitness, loves the outdoors, loves his faith, all the things that we talk about here on the podcast. So stay tuned for that, guys. Also, I want to remind you, if you're watching this in June, we have over a $2,000 archery giveaway going on right now. If you're watching this before the end of June, make sure you get entered in on that. I'm going to leave that down in the description down below. Definitely check that out. Get entered, guys. It's over $2,000, the everything but a bow giveaway to get you out, get you shooting, and have the best top of the line equipment that I trust, that I use. I'm going to be giving that to you guys, thanks to the partners of the show, as a big thank you to you for the continued growth of the channel as we continue to move forward. I really appreciate that, guys. Definitely check it out. And of course, last but not least, go and check out the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. We recommend that you get in there, guys, because and obviously there's no purchase required to get in. We just want you in the community. We are over 6,000 members strong and growing every single day. Really excited to see you guys there. It's just, you're going to find someone, even if you're not into archery, you're into fitness, you're into the outdoors, you're into hiking, you're into camping, you're into fishing, whatever it may be outdoors that you love, you want to be in that group. You want to go check it out. So definitely recommend you do that. Now let's get into the conversation with Ross and Broken Arrow Outdoors. Welcome back, everyone, to the RedBeard Outdoors podcast. I'm Jonathan, your host, and today I've got an outstanding guest for you guys. We've got Ross Long. Ross is the owner of Broken Arrow Outdoors, right? Broken Arrow. Yeah, Broken Arrow Outdoors. For some reason, I put BOA, B-O-A, but it's B-A-O. Broken Arrow Outdoors. And he makes some amazing targets. He's also got a job outside of that. We're going to go over all of that, how he balances those things, if you can call it balancing. I don't know if there really is ever balance in your life when you've got your own business aside of 9 to 5. But with that being said, Ross really enjoys archery, loves challenging people. For that reason, created the targets that he's got. And he's going to be at some Total Archery Challenge events this year as well. Introducing some new targets like we're going to introduce today. So with that being said, Ross, for people that don't know who you are you, man?
So my name is Ross. We live here in Southeast Texas, a little north of Houston. I'm a dad, a husband. I'm a Houston fireman. And then we own and operate a custom welding fabrication business, as well as the target business that we branched off of that. So, and I'm a bow hunter. My family's a big hunters. My wife, my daughter, my dad, her family, grew up hunting, and just fell in love with archery. there's just something about it. I can't explain it to people that has never done it before. That's why I'm just all in on archery. So
Yep. No, I definitely understand that. It's there's something that hooks you. Now, don't get me wrong, firearms are fun. It's a lot of fun to go out and blow stuff up and do that sort of
right.
deal. But there's something therapeutic about archery, being able to just be completely dialed in on what's going
Yes.
on with your bow, with your body. You're not taken out of the experience by an explosion, like you are with a rifle or a pistol. And it's just and watching the arrow flight too, especially on those longer shots. And then even more exciting when you're shooting at a
Oh
metal
man.
target and you're aiming for the foam and you hit foam instead of hearing the ding
Yeah.
going off. So there's all those
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
going into it.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. So
When it
with
comes
that being
together, it
said,
comes together.
exactly. So with that being said, let's start off with the first couple things outside of Broken Arrow Outdoors,
Yeah.
and then we'll get into
Absolutely.
why Broken Arrow and why you got that business started. So you've got a family and you're a fireman down there
Yes.
in the Houston-ish area. What I
Mm-hmm.
guess what drew you to? Well, how long have you been a fireman for?
So I've been a fireman for probably close to 15 years. I don't know the exact date.
Wow.
I've been a Houston fireman for almost 12. So the lights of the big city drew me in. I started out as a volunteer department here in New Waverly, and then uh, branched out to a bigger town a little south of us, and then Houston, all the action, the fires, and a lot of friends, that are still in the department. That drew me in, and it's got a hold of me ever since. So
Yeah.
almost 12 years, yeah, we're right at 12 years.
Wow, that's amazing. So 12 years in Houston and then 15 years as a fireman.
Yes,
What drew you to that profession? Because that's a long time. A lot of people can't even hold a normal job down for, 2,
right.
3 years. You've been in it for 15. You're a career man at this point.
Oh yeah.
What drew you to that?
So honestly, if you have time, I can tell you a real quick kind of. I hate the
Oh, of
backstory
course.
on this,
Yeah.
but okay. So I had a lot of jobs. I used to quote air quotes rodeo for a living. So we're big horse people too. We rodeo, we rope and stuff like that. And then I was a horse dentist, believe it or not, an equine dentist. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Mm-mm.
And it's just it wasn't where I wanted to be. And then I met my wife, and which I can't say enough of good things about her. But whenever I met my wife, she had a lot of friends, and I knew people in the fire department, and they were like, "Oh, hey, you'd be a great fireman. You're kind of, it's type A personality, which is me, and we think you'd fit in really good." And I said, "Well, man, that I'm all in. That sounds good. Just tell me where to sign up." And so we went through the whole hiring process, signed up, everything, went to school, got certified, etc. And then it seems like a blur. I can remember sitting at our first house we had together at the kitchen table on a laptop doing schoolwork. That was 16, 17 years ago. So we weren't even married at the time, I don't think. So it just drew me in, the part of the, I love helping people, but I also love the adrenaline a little bit, the action a little bit side of it. I work in a pretty rough part of town, so there's always something to see, always somewhere to go, something to trouble to get into, so to speak.
Mm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and we get to help a lot of good people and do some good, for the community and for each other as well. So.
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's, honestly, being a fireman, that, my dad was a police officer, and I know there's a lot of back and forth. You guys like to mess
Yeah.
around
Oh
with each
yeah.
other. It's just like in the military, the different
Yeah.
branches. But long story short, you guys are public servants. You go out there and
Right.
you do everything that you can to take care of people. It may
That's right.
vary at times the ways that you take care of the people, and then also at times might be very similar in the way you take care of people. And in the end, you want people to get home safe. You want them to be safe from whatever event that they're in. And unfortunately, most of the time when they call you guys, it's not on a good day. It's usually on a
Right.
bad
Yeah.
day.
It's not.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's unfortunate, but at the same time, you're able to be there for those people, and it takes a special person to want to continue to do that for
Mhm.
multiple years, for over a decade and a half at this point, to be able to do that. It takes
Yes,
patience, it
sir.
takes caring, and a genuine love for the career that you're in. So, with that being said, what is maybe share one of your, I guess, most memorable calls that you've
Oh,
had over the 15 years that you've been a fireman?
um, so a lot of the calls we go to, the ones that stick out in my head are the ones that probably don't need to be shared, kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But so I think one of the most memorable ones I can pick out in my head was it was when I was a rookie. Uh, it was all I think it was the first fire we cut a hole on.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember the guys, I can remember the captains. I'm still good friends with everybody. And so we're training in the back parking lot. They're showing me we're doing Stokes basket drill there, which that's a elevated deal with ropes, and we tie off to the ladder and et cetera. And we hear the call, the boop boop goes off, and house on fire, and uh, we throw everything off. We get everything kind of unhooked, and we're in the ladder. So if you're on the ladder truck, you get prime location. Well,
Mm-hmm.
the chief says, "Hey, ladder 34, I need you to go to the roof and cut a hole." So we went up there. I don't even know if I did it right. My captain said, "Good job," but I don't, it was just so fast paced and happened quick. But then, uh, when you cut a hole in a roof, you're able to get all the heat and the fire and the smoke off of everybody, right? That's inside
Mm-hmm.
fighting the fire. So we're on the roof, we get a good hole, all the heat and gases are coming out, and then we hear on the radio, uh, engine 56, I think, said, "Hey, we found a victim. We're pulling her out." And it was an older lady, and they ended up pulling her out with another crew, and they saved that lady's life. So it was pretty cool to know that we played a small part in that, just by kind of helping them with visibility. And I'm sure they could have done it without that because they're good firemen too. But that just sticks out in my mind as one of and just being the first time I went to the roof was a pretty neat deal. So yeah, that's one
No,
of the more memorable ones. Yeah.
that's awesome, and that's something that I never honestly even thought about. The fact that you would cut a hole in the roof to let the gases escape and the
Yes.
flames get out and the heat as well.
Yep.
I've heard some pretty crazy stories. Like, um, I think a lot of people probably at this point have heard Tim Kennedy talk about his experience as a fireman and how he was kind of the hothead that got in trouble because he ran in a little too fast and he was starting to bubble and pop, where his
Yeah.
his mask was melting and
Right.
the problems that can cause. But I mean, you guys are going into very inconvenient and
Yeah.
uncomfortable environments uh, with the heat. Some people can't even sit close enough to a fire at a
Right.
campfire, let alone putting on hundreds of pounds of gear to be able to run in and go save people in the heat. And
Yes, sir. Yeah.
that's pretty
It's
crazy.
it's a little different. It takes some getting used to, but we used to get in trouble a lot for staying in too long, or
Mm.
we'd get a good talking to after that. But the chief was, "Hey, you probably should have not been in there," kind of deal. But we got the job done most of the time, and we're thankful we all got to kind of talk about it afterwards. Nothing serious happened. So
Exactly.
um,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. So yeah, again, 15 years of service as a fireman and counting. You've got a family. Did you
I do.
start your family after you became a fireman or before?
So yes, sir. After we did,
Okay.
I was dating my wife before when I was going to school, getting certified and all that, and then we got married when I was at that first department,
Mm.
and then after that we had my little girl. We had her, I think, my second year with Houston.
Okay.
third year with Houston, something like that. Yeah, so that was definitely a blessing. It was real hard to get her, and we thank God every day for her, you know. So she's one of the best things that's ever happened, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And yeah, there's a lot of people. It's interesting to hear parenting, you know, becoming a parent and having a child. I know some people that, like yourself, were saying that they have to work for
Yeah,
it, and that
yeah,
shows another level of dedication. There's so many different reasons why that might be happening, but the fact that you're willing to not just throw your hands up and be like, you know what, all right, well, guess it's not for me.
right,
You know,
exactly.
and I've got another really close friend that I joke about it because me and my wife are on the other end where we're just thinking about having a child, and she's pregnant, you know. And so
Right.
and so we were joking because my buddy and his wife, they had been, you know, trying to have a kid for a while, and the moment they hung out with us, they found out they were pregnant like
Oh
a
yeah,
week or two later.
you
It
just
was
breathed on them wrong.
hilarious.
It was,
Exactly, exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Now
That's the
they
way
have a
it
beautiful
happens. And
little,
God bless the
yeah,
people that can do it like that. But you know,
exactly.
there was a lot of prayer and a lot of work to get our baby girl. So it was great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, no,
wouldn't
for
change it
sure.
for the world.
Exactly. And you know, honestly, you know, I always knew I wanted to be a dad. That was something that was drawn for me even from a kid. Like I had a couple different career paths that I thought I might go down, but I always
Right,
knew I would want to be a dad.
right,
And some people just don't have that drive as well. And I tell those people, I'm like, great, like don't feel obligated to have a
right.
kid. Like it's one of the most frustrating and rewarding things in the entire world. The
No,
other day, you know, I just had something happened where I was really happy with one of the kids. Like it was just awesome experience. Took me to a high point for the week. And then like not 10 minutes later, something
yeah,
else happened with the same kid that just like boom, just dropped me
same. Yeah,
right
it
through the
happened.
freaking floor. It
Yeah.
just is
And
crazy how that happens, isn't it?
how many do you have? Do you have four or five?
I've got five, yeah.
Okay, see, I've got one, and my hat's off
Mm,
to you. I couldn't imagine. Uh,
yeah.
you know, I do imagine, but then it's one is hard enough for us, much less
Hmm.
five. I don't know if it would run smoother with another five or two or three, but
Yeah.
uh, one is stressful enough.
Yeah. And we just got a puppy. So that, you know,
Oh,
luckily, so he's
we
actually
got another kid.
yeah, right. Yeah, little fur baby. But he's been really good. It's really
Oh,
good for
good.
the family. But he's a little lap dog. He's actually laying down right here. I'm really
Oh, really?
surprised. He's
Oh, nice.
yeah, he's 3 months old, and he already knows like dad's working. I lay on the bed right here, and he doesn't move. So
Oh, nice.
it's pretty awesome. But no, man, you know, one child, six children. It's just it doesn't matter. Honestly,
Right.
having a kid is a big responsibility, and you know, you being a
Mhm.
Christian man as well,
Yes, sir.
it's a big calling from our Heavenly Father, and a
Yeah,
big responsibility that
it is.
we're entrusted with one of His children to be able to raise them through this life and to be there for them. You know, and
That's true. Yes,
um,
it is.
it's
We feel
definitely
blessed.
something that. Yeah, it's definitely something I try not to. There's times where I take it for granted, or I get really frustrated with the kids, or you know, whatever it may be, and then I have to take a step back and realize, like, all right, I asked for
Right.
this.
Yeah,
And, you know,
you did.
I need to check myself a little bit there. And you know, so oh man, there was a quote the other day too before we get off the topic of being a dad, but it was you know, there's a lot of people that say when they have a difficult child, they're like, "Man, what did I do to deserve this? Like what did I do wrong in the
Right.
previous existence to deserve this child?"
Yeah.
And the guy that was speaking, he said, "You know, why don't we look at it this way? You know, easy children put you through parenting 101.
Right.
Hard children put you through parenting 506."
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so it's just that level of progression to move forward. It's a blessing to have someone, a kid that might test you a little bit. But it's also nice to have the kids that, you know, there's times where it runs smooth. So,
Yeah, that's true. You know, hey,
yeah.
it's great either way. I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So your wife knew what she was getting into. You didn't trick her into it. She
Nope.
knew what
Nope.
she was getting into
You
when
did.
you became a fireman, which is good. And then, so after that, you know, you guys have obviously been together for this entire time. You've got an amazing daughter. And now you're like, hey, you know what? Not only saving people's lives and risking my life on a regular basis, that's not enough stress. I want to start a business,
Right.
right?
That's it. That's pretty
And
much
so,
how it goes.
yeah, exactly. So walk us through that, because that's a whole nother experience, like starting your own business for people that don't understand. And we're going through tax season right now. By the time this comes out, it'll be May, June timeframe. But right now it's middle of March, tax season. Owning a business is, I mean, it's ridiculous having to go
It's
through that. So not only tax season, but you're trying to, bring in revenue. You're making your best product. There's so many things that go into owning a business. So why did you choose to start Broken Arrow Outdoors? What was the thought
well,
process?
so that's a good one. So it's a little bit of a long one. So backtrack a little bit, I started the welding business, the fabrication business. Um, I don't want to say years ago, but it's been, oh God, I don't know how many years ago. Just off of working for myself. I've always knew how to build stuff with metal. I've always welded, done things for myself since from when I was young. And we recently bought some acreage in, where we live, and I built us a nice front entrance, like a pipe entrance with gate and all that stuff. I was going to put an automatic opener on it, and then we did all that, and back to being coordinating with the firemen. I was at a station when I was younger. We made a call to a hotel, the Super 8 Hotel, and the gentleman that owned it, we got through with our medical call, and he had two big flagpoles out front, those big silver ones that are real expensive. And he says, and my captain's just like us, and he's big hunter, big, huge bow hunter. And he said, hey, bud, what you going to do with those flagpoles? I see they're marked they're going to tear them down. He goes, do you want them? And he said, yeah. He goes, if you take them down, you can have them. And my captain bought his tractor to the tour, next tour to work. And we went on our morning off and we took them down. I got one and he got one. So I put that big, nice flagpole up behind our entrance. We got the American flag waving, the Texas flag waving. It's a real pretty day. I take a picture of it to put it on Facebook. And a guy reaches out and says, hey, man, who built your entrance? And I said, I did. And he said, man, will you build me one? And I said, sure. And that's literally how it started. Just from someone going, hey, I really like what you did. Can you come build me one? And then it just kind of snowballed. I built some more gates, more entrances, more fence, etc. And it's never stopped. And then we branched out into plasma cutting, custom signs, etc., lighted signs. And then inevitably, I'm just so enthralled, I guess for lack of a better word, with bow hunting and hunting in general, that I wanted to create something for archery, not just someone shooting. I've made steel targets for people for guns, and not just something like that. I'm always interested in a challenge. I'm always interested in how can I get better, and so Broken Arrow Outdoors was born. And I've sat on the idea for a long time, and I didn't want to do this anymore. I didn't want to just procrastinate and let that sit, and because I've done that before and it's bit me in the butt. So I went out, I did it, I designed everything, made the targets. I searched forever for foam to put behind it, and I found the right foam with the 365 Archery that fits perfect. They're the right price. They're great people. So I just try to incorporate that in the targets, and that's literally how it started. And then I just thought, man, what else can I make a target out of? What, not just a deer or a hog, and it just led me down all these paths, and which is great. I can't thank God enough for it. So
I love it. So not only to mention you've got the Broken Arrow Outdoors, but you've got your fabrication as well. I
yes,
know
sir.
we talked about this, and you make some beautiful fire pits, and obviously you build other things as well. So I failed to mention that. So you're fireman, and then you've got two businesses really that you've got going on.
Yes.
And so you combined your one business with your love of archery to create this Broken Arrow Outdoors. So talk us through the target itself, because for people out
Mhm.
there, um, honestly, having a metal target is an investment, but in
Yes.
my opinion, it's a really good training tool. And I'm actually getting my buddy's got some land out here in West Bountiful. I wish I owned it, but he lets me go out and set up targets.
Oh,
I'm like, you
nice.
shoot them
Nice.
whatever you want, but I've got some targets that I'm going to put up. So I'm setting up the range. We finally have some nice weather.
Yeah.
It's been kind of off and on. We had this nasty windstorm and all this other stuff the last couple
Mhm.
weekends. We've had some bad weather, so haven't had a chance to get everything set up. But I'm setting up the target tomorrow, Saturday, and we're gonna be shooting it, getting some
Oh,
stuff
nice.
out there for everyone to check out. But so I have the deer. That thing is awesome.
Oh, for
Absolutely
sure.
love the build quality. I love that it comes in different pieces, making it easier to pack down. It's not just one big chunk of metal that you have to haul around everywhere. So talk people through, I guess, the target, why you chose the thickness of the steel that you did, and then the breakdown feature of it as well.
So I chose the thickness of the steel. I'm constantly. I got to send you some new bases, by the way. I redesigned
Okay.
the bases, and I'm going to send
Mm.
those to you. I designed the steel just because, with normal like AR 500 plate, they make 1/8 inch AR 500 plate,
Mhm.
which is, you can shoot a low caliber gun at it because it's 1/8 inch, but it'd be so expensive. And I want something to where I don't want to charge an arm and a leg for it. I can't charge $1,500 for a deer target, which is ridiculous. But
Mhm.
I made it that way. Number one, it's durable, especially for someone uh, that's going to weekend shoot, even shoot daily. We've shot ours, I can't remember, over 100 times probably, and it's got some little dimples in it, but I mean, you can touch the paint up and it's good to go. So I made it for the lightweight capability for someone to haul around if they want to throw it in the back of their truck. Uh, I made it a couple pieces also for the simple fact that transport. If someone wants to transport it in the back of their truck, it's cumbersome loading a big target, and it honestly takes up a lot of room uh, in the back of a truck, especially if you're going to load other things, coolers and your equipment and all that. So I wanted it to break down. I wanted it to be relatively lightweight to move around easy, transport, and uh, and just be cost effective for the consumer, for guys that I hunt with, or you know, um, I'm always looking for a good deal. My wife does get on to me. I have expensive tastes, uh, so I'm looking for a good deal, and I want to give someone a quality, really good product that's going to last. I want to be known for giving someone or whoever something that's going to last and they're going to love right off the bat.
Mm.
So that goes hand in hand with my gates that we build, all the custom gates or the fire pits as well. So I want someone to be happy with it. And if they're not, I'll make it right.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's definitely really high quality. Like I said, I haven't put any arrows through it or into it yet, but I'm looking forward to doing that. Hopefully, all into the foam, but I can imagine I'll miss a couple times. But have my kids out there with me as well, and having dimples in it really isn't. It's not like having a firearms, steel target where you
Right.
got to worry about dimples in it, because then it could ricochet weird. With a
Yes, sir.
bow, like, it's really not that big of a deal. And like you were saying, you don't want to charge $1,500 for the doubly thick steel compared to what
Yes,
you
sir.
currently have. Which I was looking at it, and again, it holds up. It looks like it's going to hold up really great. And then,
Yes.
I trust the fact that you've shot it multiple times and tested it out yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And we ran the numbers as well, talking about
Mhm.
shipping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're gouging the customer. You're making
No,
sure that everyone's taken care of, and the cost of steel is just not. It's just flat out not cheap.
it is.
So
I can't really do anything about that. I wish I
yeah,
could, but I
yeah,
don't control the
exactly. So
future, as they call it. So,
so when people go online, there you've got two options available currently, right? You've got the
yes,
hog
sir.
and the deer.
Mhm.
Okay. So when they go online, the deer is right around the $600 mark, right?
Believe with shipping, yes, sir. It's
Okay.
500, and then shipping is flat rate of $75.
Perfect.
So,
Awesome.
and
So
I've played with that a little, and I think that's the best the best way to do it. And it might change. I don't know. I'm constantly trying to get the cost down. That's, i.e. when I redesigned the bases. So I think that's going to help out a lot, especially on shipping weight. And so I'm constantly trying to figure out ways to evolve, so to speak, or make it better.
Yep. So when you go online, we'll say I go in and order a deer target, right around the $600 mark after taxes and shipping. It comes with the deer, and then it's got the head that bolts on, similar to what's right behind your right shoulder there, where it's got the bolts that connect the different pieces. And then it comes with the base as well. And so you're redesigning the bases, but even the base that we've got right now is super sturdy. But it's a little bit more labor intensive. We were talking about that, how you had to cut up different pieces of that tubing and then weld it back together. It's a little bit more labor intensive. So you get all of that. Plus, is it an upgrade option to add the foam, or does the foam come with it?
The foam comes with it. The foam comes with it. I'd love to be able to work with 365 like that. I just buy enough to get dealer cost. And then I just ship it to them. They don't offer a drop ship option. So that's what we're doing right now. They've been great. The guys that I've dealt with has done a good job. So, and I love their product. I have 365 archery regular targets, and they hold up amazing. So the foam does come with it.
Cool.
And
okay, so the foam comes with it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So with that, you get the strap that holds the foam in. So basically on the back side, and like I said, by the time this comes out, I will have had some other shorts and videos going over the target once I get it all set up on the range. Okay. But people can go back and reference those videos if you're watching this now in June or May, whenever this comes out. And but basically on the back side of the target, there's a little lip that cube of foam is going to sit on. Just like what's right behind your head there. It's a yellow cube with a black dot. And then that cube obviously has different faces. So once you tear one up, you can flip it around and you've got more foam to shoot at. So that's going to last you a long time. And then on top of that, let's see. So there's the lip, the strap that holds it in. And then you've also got the option to add some challenge rings to it, which will bring it all the way down from, I think the hole on the deer is what, 10 inches?
The hole in the deer is 10 inches. Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you can bring it all the way down to 2 inches.
You can.
With those challenge rings. Yeah. So we're going to be doing some 100-yard shots with 2-inch rings. That's what we're see how that goes.
Yeah.
No, with that, and you obviously like to keep arrow manufacturers in business.
Oh, so yeah. They should love me. Yeah.
They love you. Yeah, exactly.
Victory.
But so you have exactly. So you've got the challenge rings that you can purchase. So that just makes it more fun, right? You can either step back in distance and make that ring shrink, or you can just keep it maybe at 20 yards and then add a ring and get down to the 2 inches. But those rings just slide in to the backside in between the foam and the metal target, and it just holds steady there. So there's a lot of awesome options for that. And then you can also get the boar, so the hog. What does that run more or less if people are looking at that option?
The hog is $300 right now on the website with 75 shipping.
Awesome.
Yes. Sir.
Awesome.
And that comes with everything just like the deer.
Pardon the brief interruption here in this amazing conversation I'm having with Ross. But guys, definitely want to remind you that right now you can go and check out, if there's still limited quantities of it available, but go and check out my favorite, if you're into energy drinks, my favorite energy drinks right now left over from Summer Smash, the Grape Smash and the Summerade. Go get them, guys, before they're out. They are my favorite flavors by far, nice and ice cold, either right out of the cooler while you're camping or right out of the fridge in the middle of the day. They're amazing. So go check them out. Awesome flavors. If you're not into energy drinks, definitely look into Phorm for your hiking, camping, backpacking, hunting, snack needs. Everything from the meat sticks, which are our go-to, high protein content, no nitrates, none of that junk in them, and not greasy, not going to leave you feeling crappy or with heartburn. You definitely want to check those out. Those are my go-to snacks, along with the hydration sticks while you're out on the mountain. check them out. The links will be down below where you can get free shipping for life through that link. And you're also, of course, helping support the channel here. I really appreciate it. And last but not least, guys, that $2,000 everything but a bow archery giveaway. Go get entered on that as well. Look forward to seeing you guys there. Let's get back to this conversation with Ross. Okay, so perfect. So it's a 10-inch ring as well.
Yep, 10-inch ring, same size hole. So 10-inch ring with the and you get 2 challenge rings with each target. So and you can buy additional ones on the website, but it gets, I think, 1 or 2, I believe 2 challenge rings there on the website. So
awesome.
You get a full package.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet deal. So for those of you, maybe you don't have the $600 to get the deer, which the deer is nice. You can also get the hog, for a couple $100 less, get the hog with the same challenge size hole.
Yes,
and
sir.
then, just put that out on a range, or you can get both, whatever floats your boat. But that's awesome options that you've provided a lesser price, because it obviously is less steel, and then you've got the full size, which in my opinion obviously looks better. It's more of where you're going to be aiming normally at a deer or an elk, and you're able to practice with that. But either way, they're both great options, made out of the same thickness of steel, great base. Everything about it is just, you can tell it's very well built.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, it's just, you've done an amazing job. The finish is great. Everything about it is just awesome. It's really funny because it's been sitting in my garage for a little bit. And every time I walk out there, like, I kind of get spooked for a second. I'm like, there's a deer. Oh, no, never mind. Like,
Right.
before I turned the light on, it was like this rack sitting there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with that, I guess, Broken Arrow Outdoors, obviously you like to break arrows with metal targets, but why was that the name that you came up with for your business?
So we originally marketed the targets on my fence and gate, or fabrication and gate website. And then, we realized even my wife was the first to say, I believe, she was like, it's kind of weird. You're selling these beautiful custom gates on this website and fire pits, and then you've got this big picture of a deer, and you're shooting your bow, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. We wanted to separate the two. Okay. And so the Broken Arrow Outdoors, or the Broken Arrow Targets, wasn't thought of yet until we realized we really needed to separate it. And I delivered a target to a friend of mine that bought one from me, and me and his wife were out there brainstorming, and they were just, they love what we do. They love us, we love them. And they're like, hey, they're just thinking of different ideas. And then I spouted out Broken Arrow Outdoors, and they're like, that's perfect. And my wife drew the logo. She just saw it in her head. She drew it. She did a great job. It's just constantly evolving, and it just happened. I hate to use the word organically, but it just naturally kind of progressed, and took on the name and took on the form it is now. So
love it. That's awesome. And things like that, where when you say it naturally or organically happened, yes and no. Most of the time, like with you've been working on that for years.
Yes, sir.
And so it may have just popped into your head at that moment, but you've been putting in the time and effort. It's not like you just sat around and were like, I like to break arrows, I'm going to make a target. Great. And it took off. Like, you've been doing this for years. You've learned and mastered and continued to master the craft of welding and metal work. And so that's something that you put a lot of time and dedication into. And, I feel like there's a lot of people that don't recognize, and they think that there's like these overnight successes because maybe your page just popped up for them recently on their Instagram or whatever. Maybe they're seeing you through Elk Shape or through me and whoever else has your targets. And they're like, oh man, he's just overnight success, right? Well, what they don't see is all the years of you putting in, building things with metal, welding, all the failed weldings that you've done, all the other things that you've done that were screwed up and scrap metal at this point, to get to where you can make this amazingly finished target. two different types of targets, and then possibly a third right there behind you that we're going to talk about here in a second.
That's right. Yeah.
And and so you've put all that time and effort in. And so when you say, again, naturally, organically, yes and no, because you came up with that idea through your efforts, through your work, and obviously through all the broken arrows that you've sent through those targets.
Yeah,
So.
that's true. We've sent a lot of them downrange.
Exactly.
And to go right back, instead of naturally or organically, I feel that God had a big hand in it. I feel like He really led us down this path, led us in this direction. I love. There's a saying. I don't know who said it. I don't know the quote or who it was, but God will open up a lot of doors for you, but He will not walk around behind you and kick you through it. So you have to come make that first step. And I didn't want to let this opportunity get by. And He opened that door and we walked through it, so to speak.
Exactly. Exactly. No, I couldn't agree with you more. That's it's very true, because there's a lot of times, and it goes to the whole idea of like a soulmate or something like that, where people are like, well, there's one path that you have to go through. I disagree, because as you put in different efforts, you're going to find yourself on different paths, and there's multiple doors opened up for you, and you get to choose. That's the whole point of agency that we were provided, from our Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, to be able to have that agency to choose. That's why there's bad people and there's good people. There's people that make good decisions and there's people that make corrupt decisions. And but they're decisions in the end. No one's, for the most part, holding a gun to their head and making them do something.
That's right.
And even if you are in that position where a gun's being held to your head, you made choices up to that point that led you into that position to where someone's forcing you to do it. So, you chose to go down this path, and who knows, maybe, in another life, you could have been a police officer picking on the firemen for doing calendar shoots and all that. And you could have been doing, I don't know, something else in the gun world instead of archery. So who knows? But here's where you're at, and you made this decision. You chose to pursue it. Not only did you just let the idea go in and out of your head, which is another thing, you latched onto it and you were like, I could make this work. And you continuously try to improve, even on the phone call, or a couple phone calls that we've been on, you're trying to improve your shipping so you can charge less to your customers. It's not even about you making more margin. It's that you were not wanting to take advantage of customers or anything like that.
That's the whole reason. I just,
exactly,
try to rack my brain on that. And it's a process, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning about sales tax, because I've never, dealt with like merch, so to speak, they call it, or what, and I'm learning every day. Something new pops up and I'm like, oh my God, another hoop to jump through kind of deal.
And I will say, guys and girls, the muscles do not come with the shirts. If you go and buy the Broken Arrow Outdoor shirt.
Oh, come on. I hate seeing myself on camera. So
those are earned.
My wife are the only model. She's beautiful, so I give all her.
But I like putting people on the spot. But you earned that too, man. You really did. Like it's not, again, that's not just something you just snap your fingers and it's like, oh, I'm fit. You take the time. You're in the gym. You're making sure you're the best fireman you can be, the best dad, the best husband, and just in good shape for that reason, because you care about your life. You want to prolong it as long as possible so you can continue to serve those around you and pursue your passions. And that's a big thing too. It's a big reason why, I absolutely love the mission of First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors, because it's all about getting people to experience more of whatever it is. There's the grandparents that want to just be able to get up and down off the ground, play with their grandkids without being in pain. There's people that want to live to 150, right? Can't guarantee that, but you can do everything that you can in your nutrition to make sure that you're taking care of your body. You're not putting diesel into a Lamborghini or, 87 gas into a diesel. Like you're doing what you need to do for whatever it is that you want to experience more of. And you're obviously doing that as well by taking care of your body. And on a Christian level, the temple that you were provided by your Heavenly Father to house your spirit. And so all of those things, again, it just speaks to who you are. You're just a great person. You're a good business owner. You also serve your community. and you worked really hard to have the daughter that you've got. So all of those things just show a passion that you have for life in general that not everyone has. And so that's another big reason I wanted to have you here on the podcast, was to show that to people, because again, they may see your cool targets, and hopefully they see you at Total Archery Challenge, the ones that you're going to go to this year.
Yes,
But for those that don't have that opportunity, I want them to meet you and put a face to, Broken Arrow Outdoors, and who you are. So with that being said, let's talk about the target behind you. Is this something that people are going to be able to buy, or is this just a tack special?
No. They can. I'm going to bring a couple probably to the tack events. We're going to start branching out into custom or one-off targets. If someone wants something off the wall or, whatever, we've got some stuff in the works for lacrosse footwear we're going to bring to tack events, and then the outdoor group, CBE and, Scout Archery, stuff like that. We're making something for them, and we'll get to showcase all that, and everybody gets to see it at the tack events. That's where we're gonna bring it to. So
sweet.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's definitely going to be for sale. Haven't worked out the details yet, but it's a monster, as you can see behind me. So we're going to figure all that out. But we're going to bring some other cool stuff to tack events, and I'll be trying to. I'm terrible at social media. I'm still learning, but with the guidance of my wife, she's helping me and other people. So we're going to start unveiling and start giving people some sneak peeks at other stuff. And
awesome. That's really cool. So I just want to point out to people that are looking at this, there's a couple things about the target that I've just noticed just from looking behind you. One, you didn't just cut out a big human-like shape and put your logo on it and then a big hole in the middle. You cut out the freaking hair.
Yeah, like it's pretty detailed. I wish
the attention to detail is crazy.
I wish my laptop camera could pick it up or could see it. The lighting, I'm sorry, is terrible in here, but I'm going to put some better pictures online if someone wants to come look at them. They'll see it on the Instagram and stuff, but it's pretty detailed. So
yeah, no, that's awesome. And I was noticing that. I'm like, that's cool. And then I was like, hold up, he cut out the actual like hair silhouette, not just the silhouette of the big Sasquatch. So that's cool. And then you put it in different pieces. I guess let's talk about that. So you packaged it to where you can slide, you can pop the different bolts out, and you can, take it with you somewhere if you really want to travel with it, or you've got some events going on or whatever it may be, even just getting it from your house to the range or whatever. And of course the shipping, it just makes it more convenient to be able to use. So why, are there any other reasons other than what I just mentioned why you
just because it's so big? This thing is huge. It's 8.5 foot tall, 3 foot wide, maybe a little bigger. It needed to be broke down. You're talking about, if we were to not break it down like this, you're talking about commercial shipping and then a lot of room. So I wanted to break it down, make it easier for someone to handle. Not everybody wants to pick up 100 pounds and just lug it around. So I wanted to make it as light as possible and, user friendly, so to speak. And the bolts come with it. Everything comes with it, everything. So you're turnkey, ready to go. So that's just the whole thing. It's pretty cool and pretty monstrous. I want to see how people like it and how people react to it when we get it to tag.
Well, I think Sasquatch in and of itself is made pretty cool at Total Archery Challenge, and got Dudley that does the long bomb shot at Sasquatch on the knock-on course, and there's other places you can go and shoot Sasquatch, but it's just a fun target to shoot on foam. So it'd be even cool. I don't think I've seen one that's made out of steel, so that's awesome. And then the other thing too that I'll point out to people, so say you make the investment, you buy the Sasquatch because that's what your range needs, because every range needs a Sasquatch. But exactly. But the cool thing about what you've got going on there is you can take the body part and the foam, and you can take that to your hunt camp or wherever it is that you're going. And just that, you don't need the legs and the arms and everything. You can just have like that metal plate to be able to have fun and create challenges
That's it.
with your
Yeah.
friends at hunt camp as well. So,
Sure.
so you may not have the cool effect of the huge, 8.5 foot Sasquatch, but it's more portable, so you can take it to those events and have fun with your friends as well with that portable foam behind it and everything. So
Yes, sir.
that's a really cool opportunity as well for people. So if you haven't shot steel yet or shot at steel, I highly recommend it. It adds another level of pressure on top of doing a workout before you shoot, stuff like that. Like, get yourself in those stressful situations, people with cameras on you, people watching you, people talking to you while you're shooting. Like, all of those things are fun, right? And
Yeah.
obviously, it's something that I do every Thursday. I go to league night with, and I don't bring my kids to that because it is more of a training in a way. It's fun,
Yep.
but it is more training than it is me dedicating time to my kids. And the reason we do it the way we do it is we're not planning on winning the tournament. So we don't go out and like hush and aim for the 12 every single time. Like, we're obviously aiming for the 12 or the kill shot, basically whatever the 3D foam target is.
Mm-hmm.
But our group is very loud. We talk, we smack each other while we're at full draw. We get cameras in our faces. Like, we're adding that stress, and it's fun. But we also do that because we're learning how to control that environment a little bit better.
That's
so
true.
all of that to say, if you haven't shot steel, highly recommend adding that to your training because it adds a whole nother level. The $40 that you lose if you lose the arrow or whatever it is that your arrows cost with components and everything, like, it adds a level of stress that you don't have just shooting at foam with dirt behind it.
It does. That's one of the reasons why I made it. Not just to have fun, but I use it, or we use it as a training tool. There's nothing like if someone's drawn back on an animal. There's nothing you don't get that experience on a foam target, just a block target or a silhouette, and they're great, obviously, to get your reps in at. But the adrenaline dump you get from pulling back on an elk or pulling back on a whitetail or even a hog, I mean, there's nothing like it. And we want that perceived pressure. I want to train just like the real thing, so to speak. And I'm not, I try to be as realistic. So that's the whole reason. Another reason we did make it to have fun and to put at your range, or a club put at their archery range. And, you can get a pot going for the guys, or might win a dozen arrows or whatever, but it is meant to have fun, but it's also meant to have that training aspect of it, because you want to have that controlled shot. You don't want to shank it or rattlesnake the trigger when you're aiming at this sucker, because you'll lose an arrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So, for sure.
Exactly. No, that definitely makes sense. So, with that, is there anything else that maybe you want to highlight about, Broken Arrow Outdoors? I know you obviously have new merch, with shirts, hats, etc. You've got your targets. Is there anything else that by the time May, June rolls around that you are planning on having out for people to be able to see?
Yes. New targets this one obviously will be out. Might be on the website, but we've got merch on the website, some shirts right now. We're fixing to unveil another shirt that goes hand in hand with this. And then the hats just came in. We're going to get them up on the website. We've got some pretty cool designs. I'm really stoked on the patches that come on them. So just stay tuned. Keep checking the website. Keep looking at the Instagram. And we will definitely keep people posted.
Awesome.
As much as we can, for sure. Yeah. That Instagram and social media is a different animal. So I'm still learning all I can. It's frustrating, but it's fun though.
Yeah.
I still don't like seeing myself on camera, but it's fun though. It's worth it.
No, that's awesome. Cool. Well, again, I appreciate the time that you've spent here with me talking about your endeavors, all the way from, again, being a fireman to your family, your faith, and of course your different businesses with metalworking. Obviously, there's a lot of people that are going to be listening to this that are into archery. So the targets are an amazing opportunity for people, but also if they're looking for, fire pits or gates, something along those lines, I highly recommend people go and check that out. We'll leave the links down below where they can look at that, because, again, some of the stuff you sent to me, I was like, wow, like the attention to detail and the fact that you make the time to make those after, again, having the job that you've got and the family that you have. It's a lot to even, like, I can't even picture how you would go through and cut what you cut out of some of those fire pits. And again, the attention to detail right there with the hair on the Sasquatch is just, I mean, that's crazy. So it's awesome. I'm really stoked for that. I hope the Sasquatch takes off for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to see those in ranges, across the nation, as people are using it. So that'll be really cool. Anything else that, where can people find you, I guess? Where can they find you guys at?
Primarily, we're on Instagram and Facebook, but mostly on Instagram. Broken Arrow Outdoors. I'm sorry, Broken Arrow Dash Outdoors is the Instagram. And you can find us on our website, just Broken Arrow Outdoors dash.com. So.
Cool. Awesome. Sounds good. And then, of course, again, guys, I'm going to leave all the links down below where you can go find them. Check out what they've got going on. Go grab you a shirt, go grab you a metal target, and go get to shooting and training, because you still got a couple months left before archery season rolls out. Yeah. Unless you're in Texas where you get to hunt year round, basically. But outside of that, for us less privileged folk, our fall season will be here in a couple months once this podcast rolls out. So go get your target, get to training, up your game. And again, thank you so much, Ross, for taking the time to hop on here and walk us through, getting to know who you are and what the brand is about and what you guys are building. So with that being said, guys, check out the links down below. Thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it.
That's it. Thank you, sir.
All right, guys, that was a fantastic conversation there with Ross. Hopefully you go check out his targets. If you're looking to add a metal target to your lineup, in your range, whatever it may be, highly recommend going and checking it out. If you're at Total Archery Challenges throughout the rest of the year, definitely go check out his booth, go get to know him, see his products, go shoot that big Sasquatch metal target that he made. Just an overall dude that is outstanding, loves his family, loves his faith, loves fitness, and loves the outdoors. All the things that we hit on here, just a great dude. Love to support him. Go check that out. Everything else, guys, of course, we want to see you at the Facebook group, the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. Come and join us. We're over 6,000 members strong and growing every single day. And I want to see you over there, because even if you're not into archery or fitness, I'm assuming you are if you come to this point of the episode, but even if you're not, or you have friends that aren't, share this with them, because they're going to find someone who enjoys marathons, who enjoys running, who enjoys hiking, who enjoys camping, fishing, whatever it may be in the outdoors, even maybe just sunbathing, going to the beach, wakeboarding, all of those things. Go join the group. You're going to find your people and you're going to really love it. So let them know RedBeard sent you. We'll see you over there at the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. And guys, last but not least, I'm going to hit on this again. It's my biggest giveaway yet. I'm really excited about it. The $2,000 Everything But a Bow giveaway, where you're going to get a target from Morel. You're going to get a dozen arrows from Victory. You're going to get fletchings from AAE. You're going to get a nice archery organizer setup from JQ3 Designs. You're going to get a dialed Arxos scope full sight for your bow. You're going to get a stand release. Guys, this is an amazing giveaway. Over $2,000 worth of archery equipment to get your bow set up, or if you're looking to buy that flagship bow but didn't have maybe it in your budget to get the accessories, now you're getting top of the line accessories, Quattro archery stabilizers as well. Guys, you're getting set up. It's freaking awesome. So go check it out. All the links for everything down below from Broken Arrow Outdoors. Go check him out. Shoot him a message. Let him know you appreciate him and his story here. Get in on the Facebook group and get in on this giveaway. No purchase required. Look forward to seeing you guys in all of those places. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it.